Hello everyone, welcome to this Options Talk 44 between Raghunath and me for the events which have happened last week and what is likely to happen next week. Let us go to the charts straight away. Uh, to be honest, Nifty is not doing anything. It goes up, comes down, goes up, comes down. Almost it's like a drill which it is following every week. In the first couple of days, it comes down, then rises again, and then ready to come down again. So it is almost sort of directionless for the last many days. And every time it goes to that 14,300 level, you see buying, and it goes back to the 700 800 level, and after that it is range bound in this 500 600 points. That is the key. So here on a point and figure chart, you'll see what exactly this means by sideways. You have a number of columns of O and X. It is a bearish breakdown, no doubt, because it is still below the moving average. So any double top buy after this, which will be above the moving average, which is above 14,890 on the spot, only that will be a bullish return. But again, once that is there, you have this big trend line from the all-time high, which is near 15,050. So again, no one can say when this range bound market will end and we'll get a trending market. But till then, you have to play the levels. There is no choice because this count is still open, which is 14,061 and 13,500. So and of course this trend line which is near 13,800. So as long as it is below 14,800, these lower targets are open. Coming to the intraday chart of Nifty, same thing. You'll see it goes up again, comes sideways, and towards the end on Friday, it showed some bearishness, which was also visible from the new feature which we have in TradePoint called TOI. So this sell signal which came around just before around 3 o'clock. So we'll have to see if that continues on Monday, and if that happens, then we might end up going another 100 200 points lower. On the daily chart, on candlestick chart here, which is an hourly chart, this gap could not be filled, and again we are back below this. So this looks like a short-term bearish chart to me. On a EOD chart of Spot Nifty, it has given a sort of a doji on Friday. So any trading below this low, which is 14,559, that can be bearish. So basically, the uh, it is tending towards some bearishness going forward, at least to start with for the first few days of the next week. Because another thing is this PCR of 22nd April, which I have been watching closely. Though PCR at 14,500 is quite strong, it is 2.72, and 550 is also 1.57. After that, at 14,650, it is definitely not bullish. It is just zero 0.8. So unless that improves, like I said, we might Nifty might drift lower. Another reason why I'm talking about slight bearishness is this 14,650 put. Now, although one might argue that this is drifting down, fine, but what I always see and what one should always see on these option charts is there's a huge bullish anchor column on 12th April when it went up all the way from 123 to 348, and that low has still not been broken. So this is somewhat a pattern retest, which we call in point and figure terminology, where it has taken support near the similar level from where it had given a big bullish column, and now it has given a double top buy. So if this continues higher, who knows, we might see 250 300 again in this, which means uh, around 14 450 or something like that. So overall it doesn't look very good as of now. So let's see what the next week has to say for us. But till then, as long as it is below 14,700, which was the spot high on Friday, I think it will be bearish because the PCR is not supporting it. So over to you, Raghunath. Any questions? Otherwise, you can take over. Raghunath will be talking about a new strategy which not many people have heard over here in India, and a lot of people trade it in US. But here it is still somewhat unheard of strategy. So it will be very interesting what he has for us today.
Yeah, thank you, AP. Yeah, it looks like in the markets that Fed is not letting the market down, and the
Right. It's
coronavirus
not letting
cases
go up.
are not letting go up. So it
Yeah,
is
but
stuck.
actually it's very crazy. This US market is going up every single day. Up, 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 up.
Yeah,
There is no
yeah,
let up at
all-time
all.
record, all-time records.
Yeah.
Yeah, eventually even that has to turn. So, it makes sense that that Nifty is bearish because you have COVID cases now. There is talk
Yeah,
of
yeah,
lockdown and all those things.
right.
So we have to be cautious for the downside move in this case.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, okay, guys. This week I'll talk about a strategy called Weirder strategy. It's a kind of a weird name, right? Weirdo strategy. So this is a strategy. It was developed in US by I think a lady named Amy Meisner, and it is widely used by this SMB trading group. In US, they do a lot of different kinds of option strategies, and this is one of those strategy that they trade there as an income strategy. So I thought that we should also have this kind of strategy here, and some people have been using in here, but earlier it didn't make sense to use this kind of strategy because there was no margin benefit like it used to. It is now before June to 2020, right? Because of this new SEBI regulations regarding margin requirement. Now we have lower margin requirements for spreads than earlier. So now it makes sense to do strategies like this, where the margin requirements have reduced by a lot. So let's talk about this strategy. This is an income strategy. This is a non-directional strategy. So this is a standard disclaimer. So Weirder strategy is an income strategy that involves a combination of three vertical spreads hedged with a long put option. Now Weirder strategy, also called as asymmetrical iron condor or Jeep strategy. Because Jeep strategy, because it looks like a Jeep. Okay, when I show you the strategy, you will understand. So this is developed by Amy Meisner. A number of variations of Weirder strategy exist. There are variations with weekly options, variations with monthly options, and uh, there are variations with the kind of vertical spreads you do, what is the width of the vertical spreads, so on and so forth. So this is an advanced level option strategy, which is definitely not for a beginner options trades because it involves multiple legs and it involves multiple different kinds of spreads. So it might be very confusing to beginner options traders. So I would definitely not suggest this kind of trades to beginner options traders. You have to be at least an advanced option level trader who understands all this kind of spreads, vertical spreads, which I'm going to talk about. So Weirdo strategy is largely a delta neutral strategy and a non-directional strategy that can be traded in any market. So you should not be worried if your market is in bearish market or if it's in a bullish market. So you can do this kind of trade in any kind of market basically. A slightly short volatility strategy, but not very sensitive to volatility changes. Okay, it's a slightly negative vega, but otherwise you will not see huge effect of volatility on this strategy. So it benefits from theta decay and volatility crush because it's slightly negative vega. It has minimal upside risk and it has a manageable downside risk. And I will tell you why it has that kind of minimal upside risk and how we can manage the downside risk. It has a flatter T plus 0 line, giving time and room to adjust the strategy. So when your T plus 0 line is flatter, which means if there is a down move or a up move, you will not lose much from the strategy immediately. If there is a big move, like 200, 300 points in Nifty, you will not see a big loss in this kind of strategy because your T plus 0 line is flat. For those people, T plus 0 line is nothing but the potential payoff on that particular day. This is an income trade because of low margin requirements and it's a defined risk strategy. VOD strategies are ideal when market is range bound. As I said that you can do in any market, but even ideal if it's a range bound market. Since it's an income strategy, this has to be something we have to continuously keep doing it, despite what kind of market in we are in. Maybe not in the kind of market like for example in the February March of 2020 where VIX was very high. So maybe that is not the really ideal market for this kind of strategy, or for that matter any kind of strategy. So how do we initiate this VOD strategy? So there, as I said, it involves a combination of 3 vertical spreads. Okay, so we'll take one by one. So first spread is bear call spread. It's also called as call credit spread. So in this spread, we'll sell 20 delta call options and buy 300 point width call options, which means, for example, is this 20 delta call option is 15,000 strike. Then we have to buy 15,300 point call options, 3 of them. Okay, so the distance between these two options should be 300 points. Now there will be variations where people use 200 points width, some people use 400 points width, and there are many variations. So for the sake of this talk, so we'll go with 300 point width. And then there is a bear put spread. It's also called as a put debit spread. So in this put debit spread, we buy one put option which is 100 to 200 points below the current underlying price. Okay, so in this case we are only talking about Nifty. So when I say 100 to 200 points, here I'm talking about Nifty. And then we sell one 200 point width put option. So let's say if this is a 1500 strike put option, if we bought this, then we have to sell 14,800 put option. Okay, 200 point width. So this is a put debit spread because we are spending more money to buy the put option than we are getting the credit from by selling the put option, right? So, and the third vertical spread is a bull put spread. It's also called as a put credit spread. And then in addition to this, we also have one extra long put option for hedging purpose. So in this spread, we sell 10 20 delta put options and buy 11 300 point width put options. Okay, 300 point width from this put option. We buy 11 because we are buying one extra put option here. Just to hedge and to make your T+0 line flatter. Okay, so we will do it. I'll show the simulation so you will understand how we are going to initiate this. Now this is how it looks. So if you look at this strategy, this looks like a Jeep, right? So this is the front of the Jeep and this is the the body of the Jeep. This is like the bonnet. So that's why it's also called as a Jeep strategy. As you can see, this is much flatter than you would see with, let's say, a short straddle or short triangle, or even a calendar strategies. Okay, this is much flatter T+0 line, this blue dotted line. Now, if you look at the 3 different spreads, which I will show you here, the first spread here is the bear call spread, right? So it's selling 15,400 call. This is a 20 delta. This is for the May. We are doing with the May contracts based on the current price. So this is a 20 delta call option. We're selling 3 of them and buying 300 point width away 3 call options, 15,700 call options. Okay. And the next spread is bear put spread. Oh, sorry, this is the bull put spread. So here we are selling 20 delta 13,800 put option. Okay. And then we're buying 11 300 point width 13,500 put option. One extra put option, right, for a jig. And the third one is bear put spread, where we are buying 200 points below, 100 to 200 points below this underlying price. So we are buying 14,500 put option, and then we are selling 200 point width call put option. Okay, so this is bear put spread. So you have three different combinations. Now this weighted strategy benefits when underlying stays range bound within the short strikes and when there is a decrease in implied volatility. It suffers when underlying moves big in one particular direction and there is an increase in implied volatility. Not much, but even little bit effect is there. And obviously gamma risk is always there with the option strategies. Now weighted strategy, the requirement of the capital with the configuration that I've shown you, it requires around 4 lakhs, a little bit less than 4 lakhs margin requirement. But later when you have to do adjustment, we have to buy some additional put spreads and additional put option. There it might require a little bit more than 4 lakhs, not much, around 4 lakhs. So the maximum profit could be around 50k. So depending on when we are taking the strategy, depending on the IV environment, when we are taking this strategy, the maximum profit can be anywhere from 45,000 to 55,000. So on an average around 50k. Now the maximum loss can be anywhere between 150 to 170k. Again, depends on the configuration of the strategy. So that is the maximum loss. Of course, we are not going to go here unless there is like lower circuit in Nifty. You will not see this kind of scenario. Because even before we going to this situation, we are going to do some adjustments to avoid this kind of situation. But at least one thing is important here is that this is risk defined. So you will not lose more than this in worst case scenario. Now the break evens is around 6% on the downside from the current price and around 6 to 7% on the upside from the current price. Okay, so like when I show the break even here, so around 6% from the current price and 6 to 7% on the upside. Now the entry rules for the VODR, we have to initiate the VODR strategy as I explained 40 to 45 days before the expiry. Okay, so because ideally we should do around 45 days, but what happens is that sometimes you don't get liquidity in options, in monthly options this far away. So depending on liquidity, you should choose anywhere around 40 to 45 days. And the exit rules are that the target is 50% of initial max profit. So let's assume our the max profit is around 50%. Around 50,000. Then 50% of that will be around 25,000, right? So if our capital is 4 lakhs and if our target is 25,000, so the returns that we are targeting is around 6% of the capital required. And the same with stop loss around 25,000 and 6% of capital. So if none of this above hits, either target or stop loss is not hit, we have to exit 7 to 10 days before expiry date to avoid gamma risk. Okay, 7 to 10 days before. Now downside adjustments for this strategy. Okay, now we have to adjust when the underlying moves in downward direction by 200 to 300 points by buying a out of the money bear put spread 200 points away. Okay, so if I go back here, So now it's let's say it's at 14,600, right? So it goes down to 14,400. Then we buy another bear put spread. Bear put spread should be something look like this, right? So if it goes to 14,400, then we have to buy 200 points below that. We have to buy one bear put spread. So 14,200 put buy and 14,000 put sell. That will be our bear put spread. Okay, so that's how you have to do. And if it still goes down by another 200 to 200, 300 points, then again you have to buy another out of the money bear put spread, just like I've explained before, from the current price. From the at that particular point, whatever is the current price, below that you have to buy out of the money bear put spread. So in a way, we are trying to, adding more protection for our strategy. We are building in more protection. So the maximum you have to buy 3 bear put spreads for the downside adjustments. You cannot buy more than that. Okay. And if sometimes what happens if there is an open gap down by more than 300 points, then we have to buy out of the money long put 200 points away. So we are not going to make any put spread. Instead, we are directly going to buy a long put option if there's a big gap down. Okay. Now remember that these all downside adjustments should be done only until your stop loss is not hit. Okay. Till that time, there is no requirement to take the stop loss. Then we have to do adjustments. Now, let's say the market went up down by 200 points one day and then again 200 points the next day. So when it went down by 200 points, we bought a bear put spread. Again, it went by 200 points, we bought a bear put spread, right? So this is a second adjustment. So when we have done the second adjustment, what we can do is that we have to roll down the bear call spread. Okay, on the upside, we have a one bear call spread, right? Here we have a bear call spread. If you see this one, so we have to roll down this further down. Again, we have to choose a 20 delta call option to short three of them, and then buy 300 point width away 3 call options. Okay, so the idea behind rolling down these call options is to collect more credit, right? Because we are spending more money to buy our bear put spreads, so we are able to at least cover a little bit of that by getting more credit by rolling down your uh, bear credit spread. Okay, after the second adjustment. Now the upside adjustment. So adjust when the underlying moves in upward direction by 300 400 points by exiting a bear call spread. Okay, here we are not buying protection, we are simply exiting our bear call spreads. Okay, so here we are going to exit. So let's say we have 3 of them, right? So we exit one of that after 300 points move, and later if it moves by another 200 300 points, then you can exit all of the other bear call spreads. Then eventually you will not have any upside risk when you exit all your bear call spreads. Okay, now if it moves even further up after exiting all the bear call spreads, we can roll up few bull put spreads to collect more credit. Okay, so for example, we remove all these things after the market moves here, right? Now it has gone very far away from where it began, right? So what we can do is that we can move some of these bull put spreads a little bit down to collect more credit. Okay, that is the idea behind this strategy. Okay, now let's take an example with March expiry, the latest example. So we'll go to the option simulator. So as I said, we go with 40 days before. So 15th February is when we will start this thing. go to 320 close to market before market is closing. So this is a March expiry and the price is around 15,300, right? So now our rules. Okay, let's go back to our rules here. So first bear call spread, right? We are selling 320 delta call options and buying 300 point with call options. So here we go to 20 delta. Here 16,100 is 20 delta. So we buy three of them, sorry, sell three of them and then buy 300 point width. So 16,400. So we are waiting. And then same quantity, we buy three of them. So now how it looks. So this is how your bear call spread looks. So this is bearish, but we are doing with call option. So it's called bear call spread, right? Now we go with bear put spread. What did we say? We'll do 100 to 200 points below this. So we go with 15,200 put option. So we buy 15,200 put option, one quantity. Okay, pay attention to this, one quantity. And then we sell 200 point width away, one quantity put option. Okay, if you look here, bear put spread 100 to 200 points below current underlying price, we buy one option and we sell 200 points from this particular strike. Okay, that's what we did with 15,200 and 15,000. All right. And then the third rule is sell 10 20 delta put options and buy 11 300 point width away put options from here. Okay, so 20 delta put option is 14,500 here. So we sell 10 of them and then 300 point away, so 14,200. So we have to buy 11 of them. Okay, one extra because we want to hedge our strategy. All right, we want to flatten our T plus 0 line, that's why. Sorry, today it's a little slow. So now this is our Jeep looks like, or weirder. See, our max profit is around 46,000. So in this case, our target should be around 25,000 again, and stop loss should be also somewhere around that. Okay. So now we proceed day by day and do adjustments according the rules that I have mentioned. So 330 is starting, right? So when it goes to 130, around 130, then we do adjustment. Or on the upside, when it goes to around 600 or so, then we exit one call spread, one quantity. So whenever it reaches 130, we do an adjustment on the downside. The adjustment is by buying a bear put spread. So it has not reached there yet. Okay, so it's very close, right? Close to 130 what we thought. So now we have to buy one bear spread. So our stop loss is still within our limit. So we are going to buy one bear put spread. So the price here is 15,100, right? So 200 points below is 14,900. So we buy 14,900 put option, one quantity, and sell 200 points below. So 14,700 put option we sell one. Okay. So now we got a little bit more protection. Okay, now, so now if it again goes 200 points below, like when it goes to 14,900 or so, then we do another adjustment where we buy another bear put spread and then we roll down our call spread. Okay, pay attention. Okay, sorry. So we are fine. So target, whenever it reaches 14,900, we do the adjustment. Okay, so there's a big move here. So this is not an gap down move actually. So what you have to go do is that we go to the exact point where the market was at around 14,900. Then we do adjustment at that point of time. Okay, so we move by 30 minutes forward. So we have done one adjustment so far. So now we are going to do the next adjustment when it reaches 14,900. So now we are going to adjust. Let's see if it comes there, then we will adjust there. So yeah, so close to 14,900. So now we have to buy a put spread. So we have to buy 14,700, right? So please make sure that you are not overlapping with your earlier positions. So check. So 200 points below, we have to buy a put spread, right? So closely it should be 14,700. If there is a 14,700, so we have to check. So here there is one 14,700 put. So we cannot buy this. So what we can do is that we can buy a slightly closer one. So in this case, we buy 14,800. Okay. So we buy 14,800 put in that case, so that we are not overlapping with the existing position. Okay, we buy one lot and then 200 points width we have to short for making it a put spread. See, sometimes what happens is that if you are fearful that this market is still going to go down, what you can do is that you can just leave it by buying the put option in that case. Okay, don't make it into a put spread. You just buy a put option if you are very scared that market is going to go down even more and you might go into loss. In that case you just buy the put option. That will hedge your position already. But now we are making it a put spread, right? So let's see how it looks. So we are still below our stop loss, so we are fine. So remember that when I showed you the adjustment part, that when we are going to do the second adjustment, we have to also roll down our call up bear call spread. So we are going to do that. So here is our bear call spread. So this is the pricing of that. So we exit by entering the current price 32.8 and 16.2. So there is not much juice left, right, in that spread. So to collect more credit, we are going to roll down our call up, that call spread 16.2. So just follow the rules and then you will be fine. Okay. So now roll down. Again, we use the 20 delta here. So we can choose around 15,600. So sell 3 lots and then to 300 points away. So we buy 15,900 to make it a credit call spread or bear call spread as we call it. So it looks like a lot of people are doing simulations, so it's little bit slow right now because weekend is a time for simulations. Okay, so now how it looks. So now we brought our call spread a little bit closer, and this is how it looks now. So now again, if this goes to 14,700, then we have to buy another put spread in that case. Now let's see. Now one more thing is that when this goes back to our original position where we started like 15,300, then we can remove one put spread that we have added at that point of time. So still stop loss is not hit. So in the simulator, sometimes you get this weird T plus 0 line. That is because sometimes some options are not liquid or not executed at that point of time. So there is the IV calculation is not correct at that point of time. So you'll get this kind of T plus 0 payoff. Okay, we're still fine, no problem. So we have to do adjustment only if it goes to 14,700. The third adjustment. Now you see that we are going through a very volatile market. The March was very volatile market. Where the volatility went up, market was itself was very volatile. So let's see how it goes with this trade. The advantage with this weirder is that your width of your trade is very high, very large. You can make it even larger by choosing instead of 20 delta, you can choose 15 delta. So it's totally up to you. This is my configuration that I used. So you can also tweak with the configuration and you can go even further out of the money when you're doing your bear call spreads or bull put spreads. Okay. So you're still fine. Our stop loss is not hit. Here our third adjustment point is not hit. So far no issues. So if it goes to 15,300 where we have begun our thing, then we'll remove our one bear put spread because we don't want to lose any more from that bear put spread, right? So for that reason, we have to remove that bear put spread if it goes to 15,300. And if it goes even further up, then we can actually remove our one call spread and also one of our bear spread that we have added when we are doing the adjustment. So that is how you have to keep tweaking till we get that optimal juice out of this strategy. And this keeps this you will improve in this strategy as you keep practicing it and understand what are the ins and outs of this strategy. So still we are fine. I mean our stop loss is not hit and our loss is reducing from 11,000 minus 11,000 to minus 2,000, and now we are in profit. Okay, no issue. We'll wait. Let's see what market gives. So when we have to exit is so 25th is the March expiry. So between 15 to 18 March is the exit time. Okay. If our target or stop loss, even if they are not hit, we have to exit at that point of time. to avoid any gamma risk. So far so good, no issues. Okay, so as I said that if you are going back to our original position where we have started, that we are going to remove one bear put spread, right? So now the last bear put spread that you have added is this 14,800 and 14,600. Or we can also remove this also 14,000. Yeah, better to remove the one we added in the end. So 80.65 is the exit price, and then 54.3 is the exit price for 14,600 put option. Sorry, it is little slow today. Okay, so this is 54.3. So the reason for removing this bear put spread is because if it keeps on going upside, then we are going to lose from this put spread. So in order to bleed that loss from this particular put spread, we are going to remove this one. And if it goes even further up, then we will remove the this one also. This the first adjustment that we did. We'll remove this put spread, and we'll also remove one quantity of this call spread if it goes up by another 200 points. So let's see what happens next. Okay, so our luck is not good. So again, it went back to by so much. So I mean, just when we removed our put spread, it went back again to affecting us. So what we can do is that again we have to buy put spread because that is the rule, right? Otherwise, you're going to lose more if market goes down even further. So again, we will add the same put spread that we have just now removed the previous day. So 13,800, sorry, 14,800. Okay, we buy one and we sell 14,600 call option. Sorry, put option. See, market is not in our hands, so we have to just react to what market is doing and adjust our strategy accordingly. Now remember that you may not need this many adjustments all the time because market doesn't move like that all the time. Sometimes it can be very calm, like right now in April, like it is in April. Then we don't have to do so many adjustments. So again, if it comes to 15,300, again we have to remove that put spread. Otherwise, we'll just leave it. So let's see what happens. Remember 15 March to 18 March is when we have to exit. So we are in 13,000 profit here. So we already got around 3% returns here. Almost. So now it's around 17,000. So it's around 4% of returns, right? If you consider your capital deployment of 4 lakhs, right? So it's more than 4% at this point of time. So our exit time point is already here. Okay. But let's see what happens if you didn't follow the rule and you still went about it, what happens? I mean, sometimes it might be good, sometimes it can be very bad. So that is why you have to follow rules and see to it that you're getting good returns and not risking too much. Because see, for example, like this, something like this happens. If you don't exit timely, okay, let's see. I mean, let's say we keep holding or we keep adjusting, and then what happens? Sometimes luck favors, sometimes luck doesn't favor. So anything can happen. And let's see what happens if you hold till expiry. So follow the rules and exit 80% of time between 10 days to expiry and 7 days to expiry. And sometimes if you're in very good position, like exactly centered somewhere here, then you can hold it for some more days to extract more. But if it's somewhere at extreme, don't hold it more. Extreme, I mean, in the sense that extreme from the current the from the center of our strategy. If it's close to the short strikes, then don't hold it that long. So as you can see that if you held it till expiry, you would get more, but you would have also risked more, because what would have happened if it market went further down, right? You would have lost. You would have hit your stop loss. So it's totally up to you in that case. That you don't want to exit till the stop loss is not hit, and you want to hold it till expiry. It's totally up to you. But that is the rules that I follow, is to exit 10 to 7 days before expiry. Okay, so this is the strategy, and I hope you understand the essence of this strategy, how we are managing our downside risk and how we are going to manage our upside risk. Okay, so that is it from me, AP.
Yeah, nothing from my side. That's all I think. Quite
Okay.
interesting. Keeps one quite busy when the market is trending, right?
Yeah, volatile.
Yeah,
In
volatile.
trending market, yeah, in trending, at least on the upside, it is very easy to adjust because you
Right.
simply exit your spreads and
Yeah.
there is no issue. The real adjustments required is only on the downside. Otherwise, it's quite an easy strategy. Of
Yeah,
course,
of
for
course. Yeah.
those people who understand, not for the beginners.
Yeah, it's better if someone is new to it, he just does some paper trading for maybe 2, 3
Yeah.
months and then jumps into it.
Yeah. Okay, that's all. If you have any questions, tweet us, email us.
Yeah,
Goodbye.
thank you for this week.
Thank you.